Hello and welcome to this knitting podcast. My name is Emma and I feel like it's been forever since I last podcasted. I think it was in August and I haven't been knitting at all in September. Haven't touched my needles because, well, other things happened, life, and that's okay. But I'm really happy to be back today and to film a new episode. And I hope the light is gonna be okay because it's really cloudy outside, so the light is changing quite a lot and I think it's already a bit too bright. So I'm gonna try to check from time to time to ensure that light is okay. I think the microphone is okay too, so I think always in order. I'm watching outside, but I think it's already a bit too bright. I'm gonna change it like this. And I took some notes for today's episode, so I think I won't be forgetting anything. And also I wanted to say as an introduction, I always read your comments and I love it. I love reading the comments that you post. It just takes me a bit of time, or a lot of time sometimes, to answer. Because I don't know why, I don't like to do it on my phone, so I will always read them and then it takes me some time to actually sit down, take my computer and answer. So bear that in mind. Like if you put a comment, I always read it, I always love it, and but I just take some time to answer. And it's actually the same for Instagram, when you send me a message on Instagram. And the problem with Instagram is that the messages are deleted after some time, and if I take too much time to answer, I can't find your message anymore. And I know for sure that I've missed a few in the past few weeks and I can't find them anymore. So I'm so sorry about that. And if you sent me a message on Instagram and that I didn't answer, please send it back. I'm so sorry that it took me so much time and that the message was deleted at some point. So just feel free, if I don't answer, to send the message back or send me another one. And I'm sorry that it takes me so much time. It's just, I think, life with a toddler and everything, and so it's not the easiest for me to sit and be with my phone and answer. So I have to take some moments to actually do it because I want to take the time to do it and not do it in a rush. So anyway, feel free to send it back to me if you've sent me a message and that I didn't answer. And also, but I'll talk about that at the end of the video, I think. But I have a call for a test knit that I will talk about. It's with my sister's yarn and she wrote the pattern and it's for a baby's vest. So if you're interested, I'll talk about it at the end of the video. And also all the information that I talk about, all the projects and everything, I will link it down below. So if you're looking for information, just look at the information down below, and if I missed something, feel free to ask in a comment. I think that's it for the introduction, and let's get started. And so I only have a few projects today because I haven't been knitting too much, but the first one is the one that I'm wearing and that I finished since last time, and this is the Cumulus blouse from Petiteknit that I knit in brushed alpaca from drops, and I've used one strand. I've held it single and that's it. And I don't have the colorway, but it's in my project page in Ravelry. And I feel like I didn't block it yet, so maybe it's part of that. But the length and everything was okay, like especially for the sleeves. But it's a bit too short now. Not that it matters too much. It's okay for me to have it at this length, but I think it would be better, especially when I have my arm like this, but it goes up a little bit, but it's a little bit too short. I don't think I'm gonna add some length because I did the I-cord and I don't want to undo it. Maybe if it bothers me too much in the future, I will add some length. I will maybe cut it and add some length and graft it. But at the moment it's okay. But it kind of shrinked while wearing it after I finished it because the length was right one at the wrist. And also, I don't know, and that happened while I was knitting it. I don't know why, but the color is a bit too high to my taste, and it's not the way it looks in the pattern, so I don't really know what happened there. I haven't checked my row gauge, so maybe that's the problem that I had. Maybe my row, I needed more stitches, more rows for 10 centimeters than in the pattern, so maybe that's why it's so high up. I have to say it did. I tried to do it quite loosely for the I-cord, and to pick up the stitches loosely, but it was a bit bigger before the I-cord, a lot bigger actually, I think. So if you want to make it, just keep that in mind. If you want to have a deeper V-neck, I think I would have liked it better here. And maybe if I make another one, I'll try to ensure that I have the right row gauge, or that I make it deeper. I can, for the increases, I can do it a bit more, like do less increases, like less, not that fast. And that's it. And I really like it. It's really warm. From the alpaca content, and yeah, and today I'm not wearing anything underneath it, but usually I'm wearing something else. And also I did the decreases whilst I was doing the I-cord bind off at the bottom of the jumper, and it's not really stretchy. You can see it here, like I can easily pass my hand, but for me it's okay. Maybe I can show it to you. Like for me it's okay, but it's not stretchy. Like I can't stretch it more than that. And so to pass the bust and the shoulders, it's okay, but it wouldn't have been comfortable if it was a bit less stretchy. And also my hips aren't really large, they're quite small, so it's okay for me. But I think that if you have larger hips than, like a lot larger hips than your bust, maybe you shouldn't be doing all the decreases that the pattern says for the I-cord bind off. And I think that's it for this project. And yeah, I don't have much more to say. And I have the yarn color and how much yarn I used in my project page in Ravelry. Haven't written that down. But I think it used five balls. And actually, let me check it, but I have this left of the fifth ball, and I made the smallest size, if I'm not mistaken. And that's it. And the second finished object that I have is a pair of slippers. Those are the double tøfler from Sunless Garn that I made in Alaska from drops, and it was for my toddler and it was for school, and so I don't have them anymore, but I'm gonna put a picture. I made the smallest size, and the only issue that I had is that for the ankle, it's for a chubby ankle, and I think he still has quite a big arch on his foot, but it's more for the ankle. For a toddler chubby ankle, it's a bit the hole is a bit small, And so I will make some more because he needs, like, winter is coming and he will need more at home, like one pair at home. And I think I'm gonna make it a bit wider, so it's easier to put them on, because we have to force a bit on his foot to actually put them on, so he's not able to do it by himself. But he likes them and it keeps his feet warm, and it's perfectly, it fits perfectly. And yeah, so he likes them. He calls them his rainbow slippers. So and yeah, I'm gonna see what I make for the second pair for him, and I do think I will make another pair too for my mom. So you will see more of those ones in the future. And that's it. I was looking at my notes, but I don't have anything else to say about that. Really easy. I've made a video if you want to follow along while you're making them. I made a video for my first pair because it was the first time that I was felting some wool, so I wanted to share with you to know a bit the process. So I will link the video down below if you want to watch it. And that's it for the finished objects. Now for the works in progress, I have two. And I will start with the oldest one, which is the Darjeeling blouse from Trust the Mojo. So I've already shown it here in my last episode. I've made a bit of progress. So last time I showed it to you, I had joined the sleeves, so it's a bottom-up construction, and it's a blouse that is closed at the front. So we make the body, then we put the stitches on hold, and then we knit the two sleeves and join everything together. And we still need to knit it back and forth because I will have to put some, because it's open at the front. And I'm knitting it in linen, and it's the Alfama from Rosários 4, but I don't think, do I have the tag here? Okay, it's not important, it's the Alfama. We'll write it down below anyway. And I showed it in the last episode. Anyway, so it's a fingering weight yarn, 100% linen. Here it is. It's a Portuguese brand that I really like, and so it's really hard to show. It's gonna try. I know I had a hard time showing it to you in the last episode too, and maybe I'm gonna try to fold it. So it looks like this. So you have some lace at the bottom of the body and the same lace at the bottom of the sleeves. And at the moment it doesn't really look good because, well, it's linen and blocked. But yeah, if you want to have a look at it better, it looks like this, and maybe here. So I actually don't have much left to knit. Well, it's still a lot because it's fingering weight yarn. It's a lot of stitches, and with linen, it's a bit harder on the hand than wool. But I'm about here, as you can see, for the sleeves. So I'm doing the decreases, and then I will have to, I think, pick up the stitches. Is it an I-cord? I can't remember, and I don't really know. I'm not sure anymore. Haven't looked at the pattern since the end of August, so haven't touched it. touched it since then, so I can't really remember if we have to pick up the stitches for the collar and then pick up for the end, the edge of the buttonhole, because we make the buttonholes at the same time as we knit the body. So as you can see, I have some here, I have one here, I think one here because I have a stitch marker, so that means I think I put a buttonhole here, maybe, yeah. Anyway, so I think I said it last time, but I had a hard time choosing the right size, the right length, because there's a crop version, mid-length version, and I think she calls it normal length, or I don't know, but that's the longest, and I was thinking that the crop version was really cropped. I looked at the comments on Ravelry and a lot of them said that it was really cropped. So I went for the second length, which when I was knitting it, I realized that it was still really cropped, and on the photo of the pattern, the designer is wearing a really high-waisted jean, so I think it makes it look like it's longer than it actually is, and I don't think we know the length that she chose for her sample, and I had to count the buttons that she had on her sample to know that she made the mid version, I think, mid-length. Anyway, so I'm knitting the longest one, and I'm not really tall, so I will show it to you how it looks like once I finish it, but if you want to make it, keep that in mind, that the crop version and the mid-length version are really short. And you have to decide, because quite early on, because once you start, once you attach the sleeves, you can't do, like, you can't add length anymore, and you make the buttonholes at the same time, so you know how, you have to know how many you need. So yeah, and this is my 5th ball of yarn, or my 4th, and I need 5. This is my 5th, I think. And I bought 3, then I realized I didn't want to make the crop version, so I bought a 4th one, and then I bought again a 5th one, and I was lucky to have it's in my local yarn shop, so it's easy to get. She still had the same colorway and the same dye lot, so I was lucky with that, because otherwise I don't know what I would have done, but I didn't buy the 5 balls at the beginning because I wasn't sure about the length. And I think that's it. I think I talked quite a lot about it in the last episodes, and since I didn't knit so much on it in the past month and a half, I think I'll talk a bit more about it when I'm done with it. And the second work in progress that I have, I've made quite a lot more progress on it since last time, and this is one that I'm really happy about, although it was not the easiest knit. And this is the Vilma top by Gregoria Fibers, and let's see, how can I show it to you? I feel like my projects aren't really easy to show, but I will talk about the yarn first. So this is, sorry, I'm not doing it in an order, in a precise order. So the yarn that I'm using is Douro from Rosários 4. 100% wool, non-superwash, organic wool from Portugal. and it's a very light fingering weight yarn. I think it's 280 meters per 50 grams. Yes, so really light fingering weight yarn. So I'm holding it double. I'm holding 2 strands together, and this is the color. And I love this color. And so it's a bottom-up construction. I have to say, not for beginners. So the first thing that we make is a provisional cast on. I feel like it's harder to know if you have the right width with a provisional cast on. Well, I had some hard time knowing that, because I made a swatch, it was okay. Then I made the provisional cast on, knit a few rounds, and thought that it was way too big. So instead of redoing it, I continued with smaller needles, and then after a few centimeters realized that it was too small, so went back half a needle size or a quarter of a needle size, then again up to a needle size, and now it's the right width. So it was a bit hard to ensure that my gauge was correct, and we have a lot of stitches on the needles, so I can't, like, if I need a few centimeters, it's quite a lot of time of knitting. So anyway, we do a provisional cast on, because then we will take back the stitches and knit some more at the bottom. So we only knit, this is one of the 2 fronts. We knit this part here, then we split for the sleeves, and so we only knit then this small piece here, which is gonna be one of the 2 fronts. Then we take back the stitches and we knit the other side, which is gonna be the 2nd front, and then we take back the stitches of the back and knit this, which is going to be the back piece. Then we attach, I think it's with a 3 needle bind off, so the 2 fronts to the back, and I'm not there yet, I'm still knitting the back. And then we pick up the stitches for the collar, for the armholes, and then we take again back the stitches at the bottom, knit some more, and then pick up the stitches for the button bands. So it's quite a lot of different things to make, and we do have some lace pattern here that we have to follow while doing to the decreases for the arm size, and then the decreases for the collar here, and then some short rows for the shoulders. So sometimes a lot of things happen, and so that's also why I don't think it's a beginner friendly pattern. And also I think it could have been done a bit more easily to write the pattern, but sometimes for the, I don't know if you can see, but we have some charts, but for me they're really hard to follow, and it's always easier for me to follow the charts than written instructions. And for this one, since we don't have the same number of stitches between the lace here, I don't know if you can really see it, but there's a lace pattern here which is the same as this one, but the number of stitches between this lace pattern, this pattern here, and this one are not the same. And so in the chart we don't have the whole chart here, we only have for this part here, but we don't know how many stitches I don't know if it's really understandable what I'm saying, but we have to follow the written instructions to know where we have to make the lace pattern here, because we don't always have the same number of stitches in between, which is a lot harder. And for me, it would have been easier, I think, to put some stitch markers in between the like around the lace pattern, so we know where to make it. And I think that's it. I'm still loving the pattern, and I really want to have the finished object. And I like knitting it, but I needed some time like to really think about it when I was knitting just this part, to know where I have to knit the lace and to measure, and yeah. But I like it, and I really like the yarn, and I like knitting. Yeah, I like knitting with this yarn. And I've used I just finished the first 2 balls of yarn, so 100 grams. And for my size, I needed just 4, so I'm gonna start with the 2 new balls. And yeah, so I'm midway through this this vest. And I think that's it. Sorry, it's really hard to show since it's a bottom construction. It's rolling up everywhere because it has no finishes at the moment, so not the easiest to show and to understand, but yeah. And that's it for this project, and that's it for the knitting. And I do have a lot of plans of things. Sorry, I have a hair in my mouth. Okay. And yeah, I was saying that I have a lot of plans, a lot of things I want to knit. So I'm kind of trying to organize a bit everything. I just wanted to show you some acquisition. It's really quick because I've already shown some of this acquisition last time to you. So last time I just I bought one skein like this, which is baby alpaca and linen. I think it's 65 or 75% alpaca and 35 or 25% linen, and I love it. And it's an ultra lace, so it's 1,200 meters per 100 grams. So if I hold it triple, I can have a fingering weight yarn, or maybe I can use just one strand and use it with another yarn, and I'm not sure yet. And I didn't make the swatch that I wanted to make, and I know that my local yarn store won't have this anymore, and there were only 3 left after I bought one. And so I went back a few days ago and bought 2 more to ensure that if I want to hold it triple, I can make a jumper out of it, and I don't regret not buying it. Maybe I will hold it single with another strand of another yarn. I don't know, but I have 2 more, so I have 3 now of this one. I still don't really know what to do with it. And since my ball binder is still broken, I don't really feel like winding this by hand, but I'll see. And the second acquisition is actually not mine, but it's my mom's, but she forgot her yarn here, and she bought it a few days ago when she was visiting me. And so we went to our local yarn store, and she bought this yarn. I think it's a little bit dark here, so you can see the right color. And this is 100% alpaca DK weight yarn, and it's just so beautiful. And it's the same one as the one that I bought a few weeks ago, a few months ago. I think I shared it in my last podcast, in my last episode. And I bought it in brown, and this is kind of like purple. Like a really dark purple. Depending on the light, we don't really see the same color. It's so beautiful. And she forgot 2 of her skeins here because I was winding it. And yeah, so I show it to you because now I'm thinking about maybe buying a skein of this one, because it's just so beautiful, this color, and it changes a bit from what I'm usually buying. I usually don't buy those colors. Like purple is not my color, but this one I really like it, and maybe I was thinking about buying one ball so I can make maybe a beanie and a scarf or something like that for my son for winter, because I think he's grown out of his hat and he will need one, and this is really soft. I'm not sure yet, because I wanted to make him some mittens, but a ball of yarn, I didn't take it here, and I wanted to change a bit the colors. I don't think he likes so much the green, so I bought some orange, like rusty orange. And when I showed it to him and told him, do you want me to knit some mittens with this yarn? And he was like, no. And I was like, okay, is it the color? He said yes. And I was like, okay, do you want this color? And I showed him another one. I think it was some green, and he said no. And I was like, what color do you want? And he was like, pink. I was like, okay, he really likes pink and he wants everything in pink. And I wanted to change a little bit, so I think I might have to go back to the yarn store and pick out some yarn with him, so he will actually like it. Otherwise, I showed him, I have it here, this one, which is some starch yarn that I had. And this is some sock yarn, and I made a pair of socks for my partner with this yarn. So I have less than 50 grams because I needed a bit more than 50. So I don't think I want to hold it double so it's warm enough, and I don't have enough, I think, if I'm holding it double. So maybe I will need to hold it double plus another strand of yarn, so I don't need as much, I don't need as much as much yarn as if I was holding it just alone with this one. But when I showed it, I showed him this color, he said yes, I want this. So this is a shade of pink that he likes. Maybe I will show him some red too, red colors, which I don't have here. I don't have any red color in my stash, so I'm not sure. Maybe once, now that I see that, maybe I have enough to hold this double. This could look good. I will have to make some swatches. But those are my plans. And oh, and also, this is not really organized anymore, like I had planned it. But I had another work in progress that I don't have anymore, because I was making a scarf with my sister's yarn, and I'm seeing it here, that's why this is her yarn. This is the undyed yarn. And this is the DK weight yarn that she has. It's the thinner one of the 3. And I was making a scarf, but I was trying out a pattern that I had in mind, and so as I was knitting it, I was trying different things, and so I knew it wouldn't be the final project, but yeah, once that I decided what I really wanted to do, I wrote it down and then I unraveled everything, and now I'm going to start again with the project that I have in mind, so you will see it in the next episode. So that's also a project that I have, And I think the last one that I have, I took it downstairs because I still want to make a cardigan. I shared the project that I wanted to make a few episodes ago. I winded the yarn, so it's ready to go, but it's in fingering weight yarn. So I'm not sure. I think I want some quicker projects at the moment. I'll see. And another one that I have is this one that I started like years and years ago, and it's made in alpaca bouclé, and I took down the yarn. It's the one from Drops, and I still like the yarn. I still want to make something out of it, and I think it was the feel-free jumper from Drops that I started with this yarn. So it was at least 5 years ago, because I think that I started it when we were still living in Paris, when I didn't really know anything about yarn, about what I was making and everything. So it's a bottom-up construction, and when I look at the yarn, touch it, I still want to use it. But I looked at the pattern and I don't think I want to make the same anymore. So I think it's a little bit too wide for me. So I think I'm gonna hold it with a strand of more hair like this. I still need to make a swatch, and I think I will knit a cardigan with it. That's my plan. Maybe it will change. We don't know. But I looked at it in my stash and I was like, oh, I really want to take it back on the needles and to knit something with it. And I can't find a pattern with boucle yarn that I really like and that I think that is perfect for this kind of yarn. So I think I'll make the swatch and I'll see. And I think that's it for the projects. I think I talked about everything. It's a bit of a mess now on the table, but anyway, so the last thing that I wanted to talk about is the test knit that we're doing with my sister. I'm helping her with that because she wrote a pattern for her thicker yarn, which is called La Moelleuse. And it's a baby vest that she made, and so she made 3 sizes at the moment, so 3 months old, 6 to 12, and then 18 months old, and she's looking for test knitters. So if you're interested, we will start the test knit at the end of the week, and if you're interested, you can find the link of the form down below, so you can enter all the information that we need to contact you, and we will choose the testers by the end of the week. It's gonna be a little bit short if you don't watch the video, this podcast, when it gets out, but if you watch it a bit later, maybe you can still tell me if you're interested to test knit this pattern. We'll see. Maybe we'll make a the first test knit starting at the end of this week, and I think it's going to be on the 12th of October that it's going to start. And maybe we're going to make a second round of test knit, especially in English, because the first one for sure is going to be in French. Because we've already had a lot of people applying for this test knit in French, but nobody in English yet. So yeah, maybe we'll do 2 rounds of test knit, the first one in French and the second one in English. Anyway, all this to say, I don't have the knitted products with me because my sister knitted. She did knit a few of them in the different sizes. It's quite a quick test knit because it's with chunky yarn, and so it's gonna be, she's not a quick knitter, and it was quite quick for her to make it. Just to to say it's gonna be a quick knit, especially since that it's gonna be for babies, so it's really small. But I'm gonna put a photo on the screen so you can see how it looks like, and I will share all the details below if you're interested in it. And I think it's all the information. I will write the gauge, the needle size, and everything, the amount of yarn needed, everything that you need to know if you're interested in this test knit. And I think that's it. I've said everything. If you still have any question about this this test knit, feel free to comment down below, to ask if anything is missing, and I will try to answer a lot quicker, especially for this, which needs answer a lot quicker since it's gonna start soon. So yeah, feel free to ask if anything is missing. And I think that's it for this episode too. It was the last thing that I wanted to mention and to talk about, and I hope to be back sooner. Now that my knitting mojo is back, I will make a lot more projects, I think. So I hope that you enjoyed this episode, and I see you next time. Bye!